Yeah, I mean, this is where the blockchain, I hope, will play a major role in authenticating whether something is real or not. I simply do not see a way around. You have to authenticate things. You have to. And so if you don't do that, if you don't train the populace that when you see a video, you check the watermark or whatever, and that every platform, like with DCMA on YouTube, it's just built into the platform itself, and it says, yes, this was generated from where it claims to be.
Let's discuss the crucial role blockchain could play in authenticating digital content, stressing that without such systems, it will become increasingly difficult to verify whether something is real. They argue that platforms should integrate this technology to automatically check and flag content that doesn't match its claimed source, similar to how YouTube uses DCMA for copyright. The user foresees a challenging period ahead, especially in the context of elections and public figures, where misinformation is already rampant. They predict that in 3 to 5 years, distinguishing between real and fake content will be nearly impossible without such authentication. If platforms fail to adopt these technologies in time, there could be a significant increase in public mistrust and confusion, leading to potential societal instability. The users' mention of their project, training a video reel to interact with users using their own content, highlights the growing potential of AI, but also the risks if such technologies are not adequately managed and authenticated. This could foreshadow a future where AI-driven misinformation becomes even more difficult to combat. If you like this kind of video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with videos like this.
And as a human, obviously that's deeply disturbing, but ultimately, you know, as of right now, we're all going to die anyway. So it's like, do we care if, as long as it's conscious, do we care if it's synthetic or biological?
And that's my point. I don't think we do. And I think we're going to go down this path regardless. There's so much incentivization for this to happen that it will happen. One of the things that I think is that what we think of now as the polarization of people, I think we split in a accelerationist, decelerationist, i.e., you know, those of us who want to use the technology, embrace it, and become at one with it. You know, the reason you're wearing an Aura ring, or the reason we're using iPhones, or the reason I've got my Apple Watch on, or the reason, you know, all of this stuff, right, is us moving that way. There's a whole bunch who are going to be decelerationist and say we don't have anything to do with that. And there's a fork in humanity coming here, because the technologists will evolve in a different way than the non-technologists, which is kind of crazy to think. But we see an evolutionary split that could happen in humanity and soon.
Yeah, I think you and I talked about this before. I wrote a comic book about that very thing called Neon Future, about the bifurcation where humanity's going to pull apart. So you'll get people that are going to adopt Neuralink. They'll take superhuman abilities. They'll develop AI as rapidly as they can. And then you're going to get Puritans on the other side that I have a feeling will pull basically like what the Amish did. And they're just going to say, plant a flag in 1992, and that's it. We don't deal with any technology that's more advanced in 1992. I don't care if it's 100 years from now, 200 years from now. That's it. That's where we're at. And hopefully that split is amicable. But I have a feeling there will be blood.
Yeah, I don't think, you know, part of me just thinks, what happened to Neanderthal man versus Homo sapiens?
Correct.
We probably killed them in one way, shape or form. So yeah, that's something that lies ahead. So the other part of what you've been working very hard on is gaming. And we've talked about this here at Real Vision before, but it keeps moving forward. This is the Project Kaizen, right?
That is it, yes.
Talk to me about it, where you are and what you're doing, why you're so excited about it. I'm a non-gamer, so I get it.
Oh man.
But I'm not a gamer.
Dude, gaming, so I get why people are worried about games, because they are so compelling as an art form that there really isn't anything like it. So I can sum up my fascination with gaming with the following idea. I believe that there are aliens. I do not believe aliens have ever come to Earth. The reason I believe that is once you can build virtual worlds, there is far more to explore inside of virtual worlds than there is in the vast emptiness of space. So space is hostile. Space makes you deal with radiation and effectively time travel, where you have to harness enough energy to bend space and time. You don't have those problems with a simulation. So you can go inside the simulation, and if you're either you yourself are a digital being, which we were just talking about, and then we're probably going to give birth to artificial intelligence, which is a digital being, or your body is connected via your nervous system to the simulation. And so you actually experience the simulation. Once that's true, now literally with a couple lines of code, anybody anywhere can be creating these worlds, largely procedurally based. So it will be a world that's literally unique to you, that you can go in and influence in ways that you want. You could experience one set of physics in the morning, a completely different universe with different physics in the night. It will be insane, populated by NPCs, but they're conscious AI. And so you'll be able to have as deep of a relationship with them as you could with anybody. And again, is this in 5 years or 500 years? I don't know, but this is where it goes. And so given that it's already the most profound art form, entertainment platform right now, given that right now, as we are recording this, there's probably about 300,000 people. Okay, that's a real number. There's approximately 300,000 people right now watching other people play Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay, that's just one game. There's a whole bunch of other people watching a whole bunch of other games. Those are just people watching. So there's also a gaggle of people playing. People are so enamored by the detail that you can put into essentially a fake world. So Grand Theft Auto 5 has built a simulation. Imagine being able to open every door, go in every room, go in a hospital, walk up floors, sit on the hospital bed, go into a bank, go into a bar, go to a strip club, all of it, okay? It's 1/80th the size of Los Angeles. It is absolutely gigantic. In-game, it will take you, I don't know how many hours to drive from one end of town to the other. It is absolutely massive. And so people effectively will live inside of that game 7-8 hours a day. Now, I get it. Some people hear something very dystopian in that. They're not wrong to raise an eyebrow. They're not wrong to say, I really need to see what the second and third order consequences of this are before I let my kids spend that much time. Heard. I totally understand. What I want them to recognize is there are already people making millions of dollars a year playing inside of these games, streaming, winning competitions, all that. It's a gigantic ecosystem with its own set of celebrities, its own set of personalities, in some ways, their own cultures. And when I read Ready Player One, I was like, oh yeah, this is the future. My job as a game developer, and this is what we're building with Project Kaizen, I'm building a container. And I want you, dear player, to come in and create inside of this container. And my job is to build the rule set.
Reflects on the potential future of humanity, where the distinction between synthetic and biological consciousness might become irrelevant. They believe that society is on an inevitable path towards embracing advanced technology, despite ethical concerns, driven by strong incentives. This could lead to a significant divide between those who embrace technology, accelerationists, and those who reject it, decelerationist. The user envisions a future where humanity could split into two distinct groups, much like how Neanderthals and Homo sapiens diverged. They also discuss their deep interest in gaming, viewing it as a powerful and unique art form that offers unparalleled opportunities for exploration, particularly through virtual worlds. The user is working on Project Kaizen, a game designed to allow players to create and interact within procedurally generated worlds. They highlight the growing influence of games like Grand Theft Auto 4, where people spend hours immersed in highly detailed virtual environments. While acknowledging concerns about the potentially dystopian aspects of this trend, the user is excited about the possibilities that gaming and virtual worlds offer, believing that they represent a significant and profound development in entertainment and human experience.
There are already people making millions of dollars a year playing inside of these games, streaming, winning competitions, all that. It's a gigantic ecosystem with its own set of celebrities, its own set of personalities, in some ways, their own cultures. And when I read Ready Player One, I was like, oh yeah, this is the future. My job as a game developer, and this is what we're building with Project Kaizen, I'm building a container. And I want you, dear player, to come in and create inside of this container. And my job is to build the rule set, to build a really interesting rule set that rewards you for coming in and creating inside of this space, and to make it interesting, more interesting than real life, hopefully rewarding in many ways. And that is what gets me enticed, is when I imagine that future, it's thrilling. Now, I personally, I'm just old enough to not want to completely live in it, but by way of having this opportunity to, when I want to be entertained in a far deeper, far enriching way than scrolling on my phone or watching a movie, it's like truly interactive, where I can go build, create, express myself, meet people, engage. I want to create that. I want to facilitate that. It's the greatest joy of my professional career, the greatest joy of my artistic career. It's the thing that has engaged me, body, mind, more than anything I've ever done, for sure.
I mean, incredible. But surely it's one of the most difficult things you've ever attempted.
Where people can make millions of dollars by streaming, winning competitions, and becoming celebrities within virtual worlds. The gaming industry continues to expand rapidly, with the rise of the metaverse concept pushing the boundaries of interactive virtual environments. Companies like Epic Games and Roblox are leading the charge, building platforms where users can not only play, but also create and monetize their own content. The integration of blockchain technology into gaming is also gaining traction, with concepts like play-to-earn models and NFTs becoming more prevalent, allowing players to truly own and trade in-game assets. As gaming and virtual worlds become more immersive and integrated into daily life, we may see a shift where these environments serve not only as entertainment, but as alternative realities where people live, work, and socialize. The distinction between physical and virtual existence could blur, leading to new forms of social structures and economies. AI-driven NPCs, non-playable characters, may become more lifelike, enabling deeper relationships and interactions within these virtual spaces. The challenges of creating engaging, sustainable virtual environments will remain, but the rewards could redefine the concept of reality and human experience in the coming decades. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means the world, and it helps us keep bringing you more great content. Plus, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below.